Today's video has kindly been sponsored by myself and my webshop, the Scale Modeling Channel Shop. If you head over to tsmc.shop, you will find a webshop filled with items for the automotive model car enthusiast, tons of items from Scale Productions, Splash, Streetblisters, and many other brands. We recently got new shipments in from Splash and Scale Production, and many other items are in stock and ready to ship. In part 1 of the build series, I finished off the exterior with a glossy clear coat. Now, I was already aware that some of the areas had a bit too much orange peel and it wasn't really as clean as I'd like it to be, but to get rid of the orange peel I needed to add another coat of clear, and I was still on the fence of going for a flat finish or a gloss finish, and after finding out that the finish isn't really the way I'd like it to be, I decided to go for the flat finish. Now, since I do most of my cars, pretty much all of them, in a gloss finish already, I figured a nice change of pace, and this is one of the nicer cars to do in a matte finish, so why not? This one came from the factory with the optional matte finish, so I figured let's give it a go. So I masked off all of the areas that I still needed to have in a gloss black, and then moved on to sanding all of the other exposed areas that needed to go in that flat finish. For all of the airbrushing on this project, I will be using the Gallery Mobius. This is one of their newest ones, a big one, a 0.5mm needle, comes with a fan tip and also the standard round tip. Now, just as I explained in the last video, I wasn't really all that fond of the fan tip yet, and I'm still to try it out more, but since I didn't really want to ruin this model, I decided to go the easy way and go for the round tip, as I'm used to that tip for all of the other airbrushes I use, and it works really well for me. And also with a lot of these intricate smaller areas, this is the tip to go for me on this build. Now, that doesn't mean that the fan tip isn't any good, but I simply haven't really gotten used to it, so I will have to test and try it more on future projects. Now, besides the tip, I am really happy with this airbrush. It sprays really well, feels like a quality item, really tight tolerances, and it holds really nicely. It is a bit on the larger side, so if you have some bigger hands, then this one might be the one for you, as the smaller ones tend to give me a little bit of cramp after airbrushing for a while. Now, in the meantime, the first coat of clear has been applied. I'm using the Mr. Hobby GX Flat Clear. This dries really nice, flat, and smooth, and applies really well after being thinned down roughly 50-50 with leveling thinner from Mr. Hobby. So the first coat had been applied. I gave that about 5 to 10 minutes to cure, then moved on to the second coat. This one is a bit heavier just to get it even smoother. It sprays on gloss, but it dries really quickly to a nice matte finish. With the final bits of body work now mattened or flattened down with the clear coat, it was time to peel off the masking tape. I'm doing this really carefully as the paint had just been laid down and is still pretty wet. While doing it when wet, you can easily peel off all of the masking without leaving too hard of an edge, as that will shrink down a little bit. Now, in the meantime, while that was finished and ready to go for the next stages, I just set it aside to cure for a bit and moved on to painting all of the other bits around the body for the wheels, the chassis, the interior, and all of that stuff. So I had briefly mentioned in the first episode that I was going to do a little bit of a custom touch on the interior and also the exterior. While the exterior isn't really all that custom, I believe if you order if you order carbon ceramic brakes on an AMG, then the calipers are painted in a gold bronze finish. Now, even though this one has just sort of standard, so to speak, metal brakes, I'm still going to be painting those calipers in that color. So first of all, I applied a gold base and then added a clear orange to make it a bit warmer and also a bit more towards that bronzish finish, which looks a lot more like the actual paint color used by AMG. Now I'm also painting the roll cage in that same color just to give it a bit of a match and also break up the blackness of the interior. Speaking of the interior, I'm going to go for a combination of a semi-gloss black for the leather areas and a matte black for the more fabric or Alcantara areas. So the steering wheel, the seats will go in that flat black, and the dashboard and the door panels will be done in the semi-gloss. A couple coats later, everything is now nice and black in various different tones, and it was time to apply a couple of carbon fiber decals, additional details here and there, and move on to some assembly. A couple of the pieces needed to be highlighted with some silver here and there just to give it a bit of an accent and also to make it look more like the actual car did. And then I could move on to gluing it all together with some Bob Smith Industries Super Gold Plus. After installing the gas pedal, it was time to move on to the brake and clutch pedal. Now, while assembling this, I didn't realize it, but while I was laying in bed last night, I figured this one isn't automatic. It has shifter paddles on the wheel. It has an automatic gear lever in the center console, but it comes with 3 pedals. So my mistake there by just simply putting it all together and not thinking about it too much, but Alpha Model, if you're listening, why does this one have a clutch pedal? Well, never mind, can't ever be seen again with the model assembled, but still a little bit weird. With the steering wheel mostly assembled, I still added a couple of decals for the gauges, also the sort of navigation screen and a couple logos all around before putting the steering wheel in place and gluing the rest of the interior together. With these alpha model kits, it's always a bit of a guessing game to which parts go first. I figured that doing the door panels, the dashboard, and then sliding the rest of the interior was the best way to go. It was a bit of a tight squeeze fitting the rest of the interior tub in, specifically on the back. I did need to touch up a tiny bit on the edge of the door panels for the rear, but overall it fit nicely together and is a sharp fit. With the interior now in place, I could also put the chassis on. This is just held by two screws, one in the front, one in the rear. I could have added more detail to the chassis, but I myself don't really bother all that much with it, specifically since it's just one plain piece, and adding tons of color to it does give it a bit more life, but it's a lot of work for something I personally don't really care too much about, and also it won't ever be seen once it's on the shelf. I am curious though to know what you guys would do. Would you paint the chassis, detail it out fully, and have it all nice and realistic, or just black is good enough? Let me know down in the comments. After installing all of the wheel hubs and test fitting the wheels, I came to the conclusion that something went wrong during the designing of the kit, and that all wheels are way too far out. I simply just needed to drill the hole in the center of those wheel hubs out a bit wider for the hub to fit in it, and then I could just easily slide them in place. But before doing that, all of the brakes needed to be assembled first. There's a ton of meshes and grills all around the exterior. These are still just bare metal from the photo etch sheets. I will be painting them with a brush and some flat black paint later on. I personally like gluing them in first and then painting them, as it's less likely to damage them. Sometimes the paint doesn't really want to stick all that well to these photo etch pieces, so just giving it a brush by hand does it for me. And once they are glued in place and brushing over it, it also just eliminates the risk of getting glue on top of the paintwork. One of the bits I dread most on these alpha model and or resin aftermarket kits is the clear parts, specifically the windows all around. They are flat pre-cut pieces that don't really want to conform to the shape, so it's always a bit of a hassle and a bit nerve-wracking to glue it all together. Now I'm doing this with some canopy glue. This is a glue specifically designed, I believe, for the clear parts on model airplanes that actually fly, or so radio controlled airplanes, and it's really easy to remove with a bit of water if you mess it up or spill it on some areas you don't want it to be, but it also is incredibly strong. So I'm just gluing the parts in place and keeping them down with a bit of masking tape until the glue has set. I initially thought that a black grille entirely murdered out would look incredibly cool, but after putting it in, I wasn't really all that convinced and it kind of looked pretty horrible. So I just left it in place and then decided to paint the edges with a silver very carefully. It's not the neatest job, but it does the trick and it looks pretty nice from afar. Don't get too close, as some of the edges, specifically the flat lines, aren't really as sharp as I'd like them to be, but it's still a ton better than just having the entire grille in a gloss black. Before I could glue on the side mirrors and also the window wipers, I needed to remove the protective foil on the clear glass all around to clean that up a bit, as it looked pretty horrible after all of the gluing and touching. So I'm trying to keep my fingers away from the glass to not smear any fingerprints or grease on them, and I try to do this the last possible time I can during a build, so I have the least risk. Now, in the first episode, I applied the decals for all of the emblems and logos all around and applied some clear on top of that, and also did the matte clear coat at the beginning of this video. So all of the emblems are now not silver or chrome, but they are just a flat silverish finish. Luckily, there are some metal transfer stickers included in this kit, so those were applied on top to give the nice realistic 3D metal effect. And then for the final bit of painting, I masked off that small center stripe in the rear lenses for the taillights to keep them clear as they are in the real car, and the rest was painted in a clear glossy red. Once that was cured and fully dry, I could move on to carefully gluing those in place, and that pretty much finished off this build. Overall, I'm really happy with the kit. There were a couple of minor nags and niggles here and there, specifically with the wheels. Some of the decals didn't match up perfectly, but no big deal whatsoever, and something that can easily be fixed. I'm really happy that in the end I did decide to go for the flat clear, as I think it looks incredibly mean and fits this model really well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and also if you have anything else, just let me know and I'll be happy to help.